Oh, welcome back my gardening friends to jobs for April. It's the 27th of April 2024 and we're due some heavy rain over the next few days, so I'm working like a little beaver trying to get a few jobs done. We've got some of these plants planted. We've just tidied these beds up and got some weeding done. We've emptied the compost bins, the temporary compost bins, and there's the material we got from there, which you can see in a previous video. One of the urgent jobs is to tie up the broad beans. Some of the claret ones are got the flowers on now, so we need to be checking and making sure there's no black fly, and we need to make sure that they're not falling over. So let's get these tied up. Sorry about the actual positioning of you guys, but my beds are nice and tight, but these will bend down. You'll tie them, if you don't tie them up, they'll grow up, then they'll bend down again. So it's better off doing it now. And then this rain that does come will help them immensely. Rainwater is so much better than tap water. Got those done there. I've got the last few on that side to do. I can't get round there without disturbing you, so just hold on. And as if by magic, I'm back on the other side. Pause and record. You don't get no fancy editing from me. If you like it, you subscribe. If you don't, you unsubscribe. Now this is a job that I'm not over keen on. I tend to leave it, but because I do the videos, it makes me do it. It doesn't take long. Not quite like that. I found this really good. Hang it up wherever you're working. Just tie them in. And then we need to look really close within the top of these. And any first signs of any black fly, wash them out if you can. The ladybirds will soon be here, so we need to look after those as well. We'll do a little bit of weeding there as well, because if we don't, the weeds will take over. A little bit of grassy stuff in here this time. I don't know where that's come from. I don't normally get it that bad. This is a little job I can do anytime when you've got half an hour spare. They're not too bad because I do keep on top of them, but that grass was growing quite quickly. There's another piece here. Don't know where it's coming from, but it doesn't take long. I'll chuck that on the floor before it gets out of hand, and then if you let the grass get too big, it throws them horrible runners out, the couch grass. So that'll do for now. Oh, I spotted another big one. And that's what I call a big weed. Best out. Now all my pallet collars are lined with plastic. That stops any moisture coming from the soil dragging into the wood, and this is what happens. These are older pallet collars, don't get me wrong, but the wood will start rotting, and you'll probably only get 5 or 6 years out of them before they're no longer any good. And some of the pallet collars that I have used, these are the first ones because I used to paint them. I don't paint my pallet collars now because if you treat the outside, the wood can't breathe. Yes, the water can't get in, but it can't get out. And any water that drops down here can then escape that way. But it's well worth lining your pallet collars, and if you don't line them properly, the soil does drag it down. So what I do now is on the first 2 pallet collars put some liner in, and then do the rest and overlap it. That way the soil slides down without dragging the plastic with it. So another little job I do need to do, these are the white currants that we took out the ground. This one's not looking as happy as others, but I do need to give them a bit of a weed. We'll let them grow. That one there is growing at the bottom, so eventually if that does root, we won't be checking these till the autumn. We can cut it off there and let it start fresh. And that one's not looking too bad at all. So which one is this? These are the black currants, and they're already starting to put some currants on. I don't really want them to produce any fruit, so I just want to give it a de-weed, and I'm going to take some of the currants off. I can do this more properly as we go along, but as long as they're de-weeded, we remove a few of those currants so that it concentrates on the roots, because these might not have any roots on them. I don't want to look, I'm tempted to, I don't want to look, but if there's no roots and they're just taking all the energy out of the stem, all the green sap that's in there, then we want it to turn around and say, right, I'll produce better roots. I'll just fetch a few more and have a little look. So this is a gooseberry that we got with roots, so that the branch has probably layered itself on the ground. I'm going to take that off. Nothing in there really to hurt. We'll take that off there because this here is growing just below on a fruiting node. This one is already producing some nice berries. Again, we want to take some of those off. Somebody might want them. I don't like to throw stuff away. Summer fruit in raspberries, these are out the fruit cage. I managed to get 2. Oh, there's a resistance on that, so I'm not going to I'm going to take that out. It's growing from the bottom. Just easy just to remove it now. I'm going to take that there because there's a little bit growing on that one, and I'm going to let these grow a little bit more, then I'm going to open them up a little bit later on, and I'll be sending them off to one of my YouTube creator friends. You know who you are. They're the ones out of the fruit cage. No label on this one. You can see just a few roots on the bottom of that, should I have left it. There's some roots there, look. So mustn't assume it's not going to grow. Oh, see, I nearly pulled that was I thought that was a weed. Asparagus. So easy to propagate. Just the heart up. Dope. But look at that lovely root growth on that. I've just completely destroyed. Rushing around. Now this is the comfrey. It started growing in one of my potatoes as a volunteer. It's now flowering. The flowers are going over. Seeds will drop down on the floor. It will spread. The roots are coming out the bottom. Perhaps look on this one. Hello, Mr. Leopard Slug. We'll pop you in the compost bin. Another one. The roots have started to come out. I don't want those roots in the ground, or they're going to end up spreading everywhere. I'm going to trim that, let that grow, but I think those are going to have to go to the waste disposal. Nobody's asked for them. You know I'm not going to throw them away just yet, guys, because somebody might just suddenly say, yeah, I'll have them. But this is the spreading variety, not the Bocking 14 that we should be having. But yes, these are going to the waste disposal site, so you've got a week before they disappear. Some more good jobs done. And these snippers, I got 5 out of the composts that we find that are unscrupulously dumped. I found them really useful around my allotments, and they were for free. I feel so much better for getting that job done. And of course we've got to keep harvesting those crops to encourage more. We can keep harvesting the rhubarb till the end of July, beginning of August. Now, I had a lot of people asking me why I peeled my rhubarb. Well, as a 6, 7, 8-year-old at home on our small holding, where my mum and dad brought us up to be great gardeners, workers, eat healthily, etc. Eat healthily. He planted a lovely crown, or crowns of rhubarb, at the end of the pig pen, with a hole in the side, with a channel, and all the liquid that couldn't be scraped up run to the crown. The smell was pungent when you walk towards the rhubarb, so maybe that's why I peel my rhubarb. Never tried it with the skin on. I always thought it was the way. With some nice sticks, and I made 3 rhubarb crumbles last time, and I've been told to add a few raspberries this time. I did some blackberries with the rhubarb. I do apple with the rhubarb when the apples come good. But I'm going to try some raspberries today. As I'm peeling the rhubarb now, I'm just imagining me and my 3 brothers at the time, before our little sister come along, when we're dipping the rhubarb, snapping it off and just dipping it into the bowl of sugar, running around the small holding. I think I know why we peeled it in the end. Well, it's 10:30 now on Saturday the 27th of April 2024, and I've achieved quite a bit in 4 hours this morning. No phone call from Mrs. K, so she must be okay. The compost bin is topped up nicely. I'll have to drop that down so that the rain can be still collected off the top of here. All these barrels are linked. Keep topping them up as we use the water. Have I got time to erect the walk-in greenhouse? I'll give it a go. This was from Home Bargains. I thought it was quite cheap at the time, probably less than £20. But it was about 2 years ago. Probably no instructions. That's a pile. Oh dear. I found the destructions. Oh dear. So far so good, he says. Assembled it totally wrong. Think I'm getting there now. Whoops a daisy, got some spare parts. I think I've got another layer to put in. I'm going to have to put you under cover, guys. It's raining now as it was forecast.